have this feeling of inferiority, that they feel like every guy is a project piece and they need to build them up to that. That was something he was supposed to do for himself.
Yes.
Anything that you see of him is not real. Anything that you see of him now is. Now, you can help build him towards that if that's what he established for himself. Then it's no longer you telling him what to do. It's you inspiring him to be better because that's what he signed himself to do.
Exactly.
I had this conversation before too, and people always be like, I got options. Well, why aren't you with them? And so if they are valuable options, then you would have been with one of them. Just because they want you doesn't mean that they're an option for you, right? If they're an option, then I think you guys would have made something work. And people got to stop being so superficial because the older we get, man, you gonna wind up being lonely. And some people don't mind being alone, but I truly believe that people don't desire to be alone. I think they have been conditioned for whatever reason to accept being alone, and they're okay with it. But I don't think nobody desires. And when you get old, and I said this before, when you get old, because life is gonna start happening, your body's gonna start going through some unforgiving changes. God forbid it, but that's just the way it is, the reality, right? Your body is gonna start slowing down. And depending on what your slowdown look like, imagine doing that alone. Imagine doing that alone. Nobody to show up there for you. Nobody to be there when you talking about something. Oh, my leg. The leg is gonna be hurting. Nurse is gonna come in and come check on you. They're gonna send you home. You're gonna go home alone. Be in that dark house that he talked about. Trying to call everybody else, ain't nobody else picking up because they too busy dealing with their family and their spouses and kids in their life. They don't really got no time for you because of your life decisions. It's not a bad thing being with somebody, man. I know we talk about make it so complicated and trying to divide one another, but it's a good thing when you can find somebody. All you got to do is just have a few good qualities, man. They ain't got to be the perfect person, but they just got to hit, some of your cylinders, and you'd be surprised, what you can do for somebody. But you got to be vested. You got to be vested in that person. When you find a good person, you got to be vested in them. Because you might be able to unlock some things that has never been discovered within them. But you would never know if you're out here entertaining multiple people, man. But yeah. What are your thoughts? King Talk, Hink, Brittany?
I think we live in a society where everybody wants microwave results. So they want everybody a combination of their best experiences and, somebody who's already got everything together, and that most people approach relationships from a fear factor perspective of not wanting to be hurt instead of either way I'll be okay. So they're setting themselves up.
I mean, to that point, I think that I think you alluded to this as well, Lapeef, that people should be open to pulling something out of the other person. I know for me, I'm a little biased when it comes to that, especially at this age. I really don't want to have to pull anything out of anybody. I want whatever you working with, whatever gifts, whatever talents that you have to be discovered by you. I need you to do the prerequisites. I need you to do the work first. I need you to do the healing. I need you to do the, whatever you need to do to show up whole. And I think that's kind of been one of my challenges and issues with dating. It's like I expect a certain level of wholeness from someone because of the work that I'm doing for myself and the work that I've done. So like for me, I will help all day long. Like I will partner and enhance, but I don't want to pull nothing out you. I don't want a project. I'm a project manager by day. I don't want to manage a project in my relationship. Like come correct, come whole, like come figured out, come with your plan. You know what I'm saying? And then like we can come together and I can add value, but I'm not trying to pull nothing out of nobody. And so for me, I think that is why I keep becoming attracted to like I've noticed I am attracted to a certain type of a man. And like, but the issue is those men oftentimes come with what's the best way of putting it? They come with a lot. They come with a lot of noise around them. And that's been one of the most challenging things for me when dating. But yeah, I don't want to have to pull anything out of anybody at this point.
Look,
I will cheer you on, but I'm not pulling it out.
I do want to clarify. I get what you're saying for those people that fit that description, but what I mean is this. I think there are times when in a relationship you'll find one gender has a laundry list of things that they need and a very short list of things that they actually require of themselves in a relationship. And that in those instances, sometimes you need to have a list that presents a more balanced energy or balanced set of characteristics and components so that you can actually attract and maintain what you desire. A lot of people put time into attracting what they desire, but have not built themselves up internally to be able to sustain it once they obtain it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I by the building. They want to tell you that the grass is greener over there. But what I've been saying a lot lately is they didn't water the lawn, right? They didn't water the lawn with words and actions, right? They didn't seed the lawn, right? They didn't do the necessary components to expect a greener grass, right? So no matter where they move to, the grass is always going to not be as green as somewhere else because they ain't putting no work at all. They want everything already, that person flawless, damn near flawless, ready to go. And they ain't damn near flawless themselves.
Yeah, I don't think it's about seeking perfection. You definitely have to come prepared to do the work. That's the relationship. I think Aisha alluded to it earlier when she said getting in a relationship is not about you, it's about serving your partner, right? But I think that before you even get to that point where you want to show up and serve that other person, that person needs to come whole. Like they don't have to be perfect, but I don't want to deal with any dysfunctions. Like I remember a therapist told me once when I was navigating a former relationship, like going through a divorce, I had this mindset of, I'm not looking for perfection. I kept saying, I'm not looking for perfection. And she had to help me out and to understand that it's nothing wrong with having standards. There's nothing wrong with not settling. And there is a difference between dysfunction and imperfection. I'm not looking for perfection, but I don't want someone who's dysfunctional. I don't want someone who's not fully operating however it is that they need to be operating in order to be a full functioning person. I'm trying to not make it technical. I'm technical by nature, but I need you to I don't need you to be in the shop. I don't need you to be over there on the shelf because you're not fully operating and doing what you need to do. Show up and do what you got to do so that when we come together, we can make something even more beautiful. You know what I mean? I don't want to have that pie. I know it sounds like very pie in the sky, but directly stated, going back to what I said about employment earlier, I don't need you to be perfect, but have a job. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to pursue me or be in a relationship with me if you don't even have steady income right now. You know what I mean? So
respect.
That's what I'm talking about when I say I need someone to show up whole. I'm not looking for perfection. I don't need you to always be polished and say all the right things and all of that. I just need you to, are you able to sustain on your own 2 feet? You know what I mean? Regardless of me, are you able to one day be a partner and not necessarily be codependent on me? You know what I mean? So it's not about perfection, but it's definitely about a person showing up whole. That is just my key word in this season of life. I need you to be whole. You know what I mean? Before you start trying to pursue me. And that is why I think I'm having a challenge, because my standards are very high at this stage, because you live and you learn. You know what I mean? Don't settle. I tell people all the time, don't settle, because once you get in that relationship, and if you have that mentality of you're in a relationship to serve the other, to add value, then you're going to be working a whole lot more harder than you would if you were with someone who was already doing the work and showing up, someone who filled the voids that they might have before they start looking for someone else, you know, to do it for them. Like, what type of work have you done on yourself before you start pursuing someone else? How do you take care of your body? How are you eating? Are you working out? Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you making sure that you are adding value into your own life, creating your own happiness, so that when someone else comes along, it's just value add. They don't have to complete you. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my mindset, which is why I think I don't want to say I'm struggling. I think I said that earlier, but which is why it's taken me a little bit longer to find my person.